inspiration behind this project always would be centered around our director, Sauti Sol. They have been around for very many years, 15 years plus. And in their minds, it was very clear the path that they went through to become global stars. They wouldn't want other artists to go through that path. And they came up with the development program from the lessons and the learnings and the exposure that they got in industry. And we asked ourselves then, what is it that we can do to be able to enable the next generation of stars and the next product, Kenyan product that can be exported globally? When you think about Kenya as a country, Kenya is really known for athletics, for example. Big shout out to Eliud Kipchoge, Kelvin Kiptum, Faith Kipyegon. These guys are putting us on the map. When you look at tourism, the tourism sector in Kenya is popping, and everyone outside, if you ask them about tourism, the first name that comes is Kenya. But also in the creative industry, we deserve to have a product that can be created in Kenya and exported globally. So it's a deep desire for us to be able to do this, take these young artists through this development program and have a program or a project that then can be exported globally and can identify Kenyans in the world. The Ignite Culture Fund that's administered by HEVA is pretty straightforward. The call out is online, which was incredible. It was very easy for us to find the call out. We went through the requirements online, and there was a number of requirements that they asked for, from documentation to the concept, and how we would put the concept and execute the concept of Press Play. It came naturally to us, to me especially, because I was the lead in doing that application, helped by Moriarty. The reason why it came naturally to me is because ourselves, we had already conceptualized what an artist development program was in the background. So all we needed to do was to take this concept and idea and put it down on paper, do the application. And we also had 2 rounds of interviews where we expressed to our interviewers what really we wanted to achieve with this project. And once we were able to show the impact that the Ignite Culture Fund wanted, we then sailed through. The first thing that we're doing is we always have weekly touch-ups with the teams involved, where we evaluate what we're doing against the project objectives. Ignite Culture through HEVA have also been diligent to have sessions with us, also to align on what we're meant to do. We've gone through training from the British Council on the project and how to execute the project, which I think was very, very, very useful to us. But beyond that, again, since it anchors on what we naturally want to achieve, and that is what we pitched, it comes naturally to us to execute the same. But finally, and most importantly, we have regular touch bases with the beneficiaries, just to ask them whether they're finding value in what we're doing. And if we need to change, we re-engineer the process.
So Press Play in totality had a different types of phase. So there was the call out phase where we had people sending the audition tapes. And then we had auditions where we actually had artists come in and sing in front of our directors and get chosen to the next phase. Then after that, there was now artist development, where they went through classes with different coaches to learn different aspects of the industry. And then we had a surprise phase, which was called Soulfest, where they needed to perform at Soulfest, meaning they had to produce music for Soulfest and perform at Soulfest. And then after that, they needed to create now an EP, taking consideration all the things that they've learned so far, that will then come out in 2024, the year we're in right now. And the final one was Masterclass, which just came from doing. It was very successful, 2 successful days of teachings.
This is Hendrix Sound.
Woman, you run things.
We've already touched over 400 artists. That's incredible. And it's so amazing because it's not just in Kenya. It's Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Eritrea, Ethiopia, South Sudan. And to me, just having that impact, to say that a lot of creatives have been touched by Press Play is incredible.
It was scary. It's exciting, but scary. It's wow, we're all on this journey and you don't know anyone here, but there's a possibility you might be working together in the next few weeks. You'd never know. So it was exciting.
I'm just craving for somebody's love. Oh no, I can't get that love from somebody else. Ole, push.
Uko sawa, wazee, imba tu. Twende, sweetie, you're killing it.
This is actually happening. Forgot my lyrics. I forgot all my lyrics. I was so scared. I was like, no, this was supposed to be the day you prove yourself. But like lyrics as Zippo, what? There's no lyrics. I was really nervous. Got into the audition and did my first song, did my second one. They asked me to sing my own personal song, and I was like, I've never performed or sang any of my songs in front of anyone before. So none of my songs, my own personal songs, came to mind. Chimano has this, and like he just came and like brightened up the room, and I was like, hey.
Kuna muda namwomba Mungu angekuleta mapema. Oh, ila bado sio mbaya, wewe ndo unayejua maumivu yangu.
Chimano is a beautiful human being. So when you walk into the room and you see Ben, you see Savara, you see Polycarp, you see Chimano, yes, they're like, behave yourself. I had been training my voice for practically 2 weeks now, and we reached there and it went off tune. But anyway, the 4 of them were really, really encouraging. They were just, no, it's okay, we understand. Do your thing,
Shetani na majeshi yake under me. Lord, you're my victor, my everything. A chosen generation, written victory. We will rise in your name. Na siwezi sema, siwezi kubali, wewe ugundue. And every long love's truth, let me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were just northern stars. Baby, you know that I'm the best thing.
From your heart. He's the best audition ever, man. Dem tu ni jambo yani. I've had.
Not to brag, but yeah.
Soma kijana, masiku zazidi badilika kijana.
I love the artist development phase more because of the feedback we got from both the artists and the coaches. So in this one, we had songwriting, we had voice, performance, and PR, marketing. And, one of the major feedbacks I was getting from the coaches is that this doesn't exist. This is not a thing that's happening currently in the industry. Outside of people going to, traditional school, that's university, colleges, online, there hasn't really been an interactive way of teaching from industry leaders. And the artists themselves just having interactions with people they admire in the industry, being that close and asking direct questions that they've never been able to ask before because of accessibility, I think has been great.
The more you're teaching, it feels like you're teaching yourself too. Like today I've discovered a lot of things that I need to apply on my music too. What happens is we inspire each other because they could be stuck sometimes and I'm doing it. And when I'm stuck, I feel like my students kind of inspire me. Like even today, that happened to me. Like I was at a point where I didn't know where to go with the lesson. But when we started creating like their hooks and everything was running smoothly because they were ready and eager to give and receive, I can see a lot of potential in them. So I feel like being part of their success story builds me in a certain way. It feels like I'm leaving a legacy of a blueprint and some DNA inside their lives in terms of their music and everything. So that's really exciting for me to know that I'm leaving something tangible that people can see and be like, yeah, Ben Sol was part of this project and it helped in this way. songwriting is like a really important part when it comes to being a musician, because you never know the rooms you're gonna be put in. But if you have the skills of writing songs anywhere and generating them in any way, I feel like it's gonna be such a beautiful thing for them to do, and it's gonna help them a lot in the future where they're writing for themselves and maybe writing for other people. I hope that they can be as confident as they be very confident when it comes to writing their own songs and writing for anybody else, and so that whenever they are put in any studio or any writing camp, they can deliver any day. And that's gonna be my happiness, seeing them like excel in that kind of level.
Grew past you, had to leave you on the ground. I can smell your mediocre, I'm a hound. Broke your fragile sound. I can see you realize the mess you made. I can see you in the crowd, I'm on the stage. Does my brightness hurt your eyes? I'll get you shades. But bitch, stay in your lane. I'm petty and I love it. I love to see you crawling. You didn't see this coming. You're in the shade I'm throwing. I'm petty and I love it.
I have always felt like songwriting is something that just flows with me. But Ben Soul said something. He was like, we're talking about the types of chords that are used to build a song. And he was like, the chords for sad songs are this and this and that. There's minors and flats and duets. And then happy songs usually just have the majors and yada yada yada. So as soon as I look at it and I was like, I didn't know that. It's like he gave words on how to interpret emotions and put them on paper.
Each artist is unique to themselves, so I'm not trying to change them in any way. I'm just trying to inspire them to be themselves even more, to an extent that they can easily like express themselves in terms of emotions, in terms of who they are, in terms of pour their heart out, in terms of anything that they have inside, so that they can understand that they're not trying to compete, they're just expressing themselves differently, and it's beautiful to see. I'm teaching them in terms of song structures, lyrics, melodies, killing that writer's block, getting away from cliches when it comes to writing, and then also storytelling, and then also like pouring your heart out, like letting your true emotions show in the music. They're definitely going to give you guys beautiful songs, that's for sure, because what I've had them write, like even for today, and this is the second day, it's gonna be beautiful. The Kenyan industry actually has a very minimal like female artists, and the reason why I actually agreed to be the coach for this bunch of group is because all of them are female artists, and I feel like we're gonna be breaching like a very big gap by just inspiring them and making them great, and Kenya needs that.
Kiberiti ufanya nini ndo ukange tufiti akimama mpaka moyo wangu nasimama, na ungekuwa chakula penzi wangu ningeweka nyingi, kupata mchuzi kama wako mzee si rahisi akimama, sitaki tena nikukudanganya, juni ukuonea mbali na kwanga na tamani venye sijawasema sitakangi drama. Je, uko na chali ama uko single? Naka uko single peneleza dwetu mingo. Na itakuwa uchungu sana ukinilenga. Chukua ndoto zangu, we uko wanga wangu, siupendana for real, for real. Nataka ukuwe wangu for real, for real. Nataka ukuwe wangu for real, for real, for real. Njoo basi ukuwe wangu
You'll never sound like somebody else. You sound like yourself. You can have influences, but your voice is your own. And you can't change that necessarily, in the sense that it's the thing that you have intrinsically. So you are either adding to it or building or destroying it. And exhale. One more for good measure. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. And good job. Shake yourself loose a bit. And sit down and go. I want you to think about even how you felt in your body and how much your lifestyle has changed from when you first started versus to what you do now. Do you have any rituals you do before you get on stage? How do you take care of your voice? And what does, if you had one, what does your performance or vocal regimen look like? And I say that in terms of, like, okay, you know you have a gig on Saturday or on Friday. What does that week look like? Or what does that month look like? How do you prepare yourself? Okay? Or even if we were talking about songwriting last week, or you know you're going to record the next week. What does prep for studio look like if you have? So, again, think about where you are before you started performing to when you're now actively performing. Think about how your lifestyle has changed. Think about your practice or performance regimen. Do you have any rituals that you do? And how do you take care of your voice? Your voice is the one instrument that doesn't necessarily have a case that you can put it in or go repair that easily. It's about legacy and longevity. You want to get the best use out of your voice for a long time. And that's if you keep singing. And if you don't, also not losing the skill, even if you're doing it for fun. Seeing them in the classroom figure out where they want to place their voice or sing a song and they feel proud of themselves. Sometimes that's even more gratifying than seeing them on a stage. Because you're seeing someone figure out that, hey man, that sounds really cool. Or I've got it now, you know. I mean, now the consistency may be the issue that they're trying to figure out. But it's lovely and it's so fulfilling to be like, okay, you might have spent hours on this, but now you got it. And now that's a tool and it's like a key for you. So it's up to you what you do and which doors you try and open in terms of your exploration of your talent or your gift. And how you apply it, because it's like knowledge. The lack of application of knowledge it's just sitting somewhere in the air. So what are you going to do with it? So when they figure it out, it's absolutely satisfying and gratifying as well. Because of the uniqueness of every artist, you can't blanket a challenge or a fix. You have to, and I'd rather be preventative than be causative. If you come at me and you're telling me my voice is so, and I'm still asking you to sing and push and do those things, I'm already doing the wrong thing. Then I go and tell you take a lozenge or two. We've not solved the problem. We need to look at, okay, how did you get to the point where your voice is feeling like you're losing your high notes or losing your range or losing something else, yeah? How did you get there? Because it's what you've done before. It's what you've done before that has brought you up until this point. So we need to remedy the process part and the initial area before we get to how we resulted there.
Baby, you make me lucky. I'm feeling. Come on. I'm feeling you. Lucky. Good. Do you love me, but you don't want to tell me? Baby, you don't need to keep secret.
more time.
Whoa. Hey.
Don't be afraid to try. I don't think there's a textbook musician. I think there are people who are excellent at what they do because they have practiced things that are permanent now. And you see it. And the thing about it is everyone has a tale of what they've been doing consistently or inconsistently. So, for example, we were talking about speech and singing. If someone walked in this room right now and told me to sing, I am technically ready to sing, even if I haven't warmed up. I can pick something. I know what repertoire would work for me at this time in the morning. I know I don't like being in a cold studio, so I'd probably tell you guys, can you turn off the AC? I know certain habits prior to me singing and when I need to sing on the fly. Or if they came and asked me to sing right now, I know I can also say no because it's my job. So I can be like, you're going to pay me for it. See? So I'd say just try. Don't be afraid to try. And please do not stop learning because I think our industry shifts so much because of different factors every day. Whether it's social media, especially now, whether it's even just you and what point you're at in life as a musician. Do you want to be doing music every 5 weeks? Do you want to be performing at gigs or regulars? Do you want to be a studio musician? What does that look like in the context of entertainment in Kenya as well? Do you have a consistent practice regimen? Also factoring in life. Do you want to be able to have time to spend with your family? Or do you want to work more right now? So yeah, I try and learn and adapt, be adaptable, especially because of how things change. It's a short time, but a lot can happen that you miss out on if you're not watching carefully. Everyone's experience is subjective, so they might not go through what I've gone through, but I hope that it will contribute in teaching them that picture things a little differently. My palette has looked like this, but now I hope that I'll add to the colors of yours, and let's see how you paint.
Oh my God, the fact that they're girls! That is exciting. And the fact that they are so young, that is exciting. So that gives me something to look forward to, whether I'm part of it or not. The fact that I've been privileged, because I find it as a privilege just even to be given an ounce of an opportunity to be around that, to be around when they're still forming things and, putting everything together. That for me is, that was exciting, yeah. Manda is, she's a girl who just could not stay away from what she really finds fire in doing. And I express myself as an artist, I express myself through clothes. And humans are my canvas. I believe everyone can look good. I believe not a few people are meant to look good in terms of how they dress. So human stories give me joy. I have this thing where I say clothes are not just clothes. They're very powerful. And just impacting and seeing people being more intentional about it and actually now seeing their wheels turn in their heads, looking at how they put their outfits together, how they think about their image, that is really rewarding. And finally someone thinking, wow, okay, I didn't think about it that way. I didn't think that it was important. Also just people figuring it out and seeing that everybody can look good. Everyone. The fact that we start from a point where everything is an idea and we have a vision that is just in our heads and we're trying to construct it together, and we get to a point and the picture is even more beautiful, or the outcome is more beautiful than we could have imagined. So that for me is a success story. It's the work ethic, it's the creativity and how they think, how they envision, how they put a look together, how they put an image of someone's image, how they have constructed the images over the years. I hope for them to get how vital and key to put intentions around their image, especially being the artist of now in this time. That's what the one thing, where they are intentional about it, where they think about it.
it's about time to start teaching the younger ones to take up PR, and also teach the younger artists to know what to expect in the industry when they come up, especially women, because as a young woman in the industry, I didn't see other women who I would talk to, look up to. So I'm very happy to be a coach here at Press Play, and I think it's just such a great opportunity for the young girls and also for me, especially because I'm into this teaching thing and I want to do more of it. So my vision for how to amplify the brand identity and the visual aspect of the artists on this project is just for them to carry themselves with confidence and for them to understand that having a brand identity and having a successful brand is not just about one thing. It's not just about having one successful song or video. It's not just about what you wear in terms of your dressing, your style. I think it's an all-rounded thing. It's about how you carry yourself. And that's my vision, that by the time we're done with this training on PR, branding, how to build your portfolio, they see it as a 360 affair. You also can't exist in your own cocoon and decide to do things that are not accessible. So even though you might be in traditional media, you need to be on social media. And even though you are the biggest TikToker, you also need to be on traditional media. So there always has to be a balance. So I'm really hoping that by the time we're done, they have this 360 view of what it takes to be a successful African artist. Once you're confident, once you know how to nail what's the key aspects of your brand, that's something that and value that you'll always get in the coming days. One thing I find is that when you have successful artists who have their songs playing on radio, who are always talked about, then that gives birth to demand, right? Then you start to find booking agents from around this region or beyond wanting to book the artists for festivals and concerts. But that's the thing, like if you're not popular on radio, if you're not popular on the social media streets, you are likely not to be booked for any event or get these other opportunities over and beyond your music streams. The most important thing is building on your brand and using your brand to extend and expand your revenue streams, and that's what I want for the girls. And I think that's a long-term value when you build a solid brand. Start today. Start with the community that you have. If it is your friends and family, start with your phone. If you can record some content and share it over to your friends, that's something. And then build on from that. I think a day at a time. Just start today with what you can and how you can.
Maisha ya TV tutaishi sisi, wengi wanapotea, wengi wakata tamaa, twachuna riba vijana, juu ya vile tutang'aa, ajuaye Rabana ndiye atuongoza.
Of course, when you start, you're like, God, there's so much work to be done, there's impact to be made in the industry, there's, and all that good stuff, which is nice. The most rewarding thing is interacting with these people on a human level. Yeah, that's the most fascinating thing. Knowing where these stories are coming from, where these songs are coming from, where the things that they're writing about, because outside the actual writing of the music, nitakuwa hapo na tupige story tukiuliza mkiuliza so ngoma imetoka wapi, song imetoka wapi, and then they tell you the story and you're like,
Nilikupendaga wa kwanza, ukaniacha ukaendea ana. Anyway, sitakuacha, for I know the plans that I have for you.
Phase where now we are doing an EP. Very interesting. This is I've seen a challenge with this one, and I got this kind of mindset from working with Branso. The way he structures his music, and that is when he's not releasing singles. Akifanya album, he wants the album to be cohesive from beginning to end. The flow is important. The way he is gonna tell the story is important. So I was like, how can I make 4 different worlds? Yeah? These are 4 different artists. Different niches, different styles of expressing themselves, different voices, and so on and so forth. How can I make them tell a story? And then they're also going to do a group song. So from song 1 all the way to song 5, it has to make sense. So I was like, let's do a storyline here. So we've crafted a storyline. Every song can stand on its own, and we put them together. They make this body of work that you can binge and loop.
Time is money, oh so precious. I'll be crazy to let you enter. So I'll decline.
Getting the call and being able to come and do it, of course, I was very excited because, you know, these are artists who are now only getting into the industry. So being able to put my touch on that and, you know, just share as much knowledge as I have through my experiences is, of course, like a plus for me. I'm so like really grateful. I would love a scenario where, you know, whatever it is that I am putting on the table, you know, putting out there, someone gets something from it and it actually helps them catapult into the next phase of their careers. This in itself here, me being here, means that I get to share, you know, my expertise, my knowledge, my experiences with these very amazing, talented young ladies who are about to shake up the industry in a bit. I kid you not, they are shaking up the industry. The main, there's a lot of things you can teach someone, of course, but like, I think the main one for me, in as far as performance goes, is for them to be able to connect with whoever it is they intend the music to be for, right? Your audience, right? Being able to connect with the song, with the music that you're singing, the words, the lyrics, the music of how it sounds, like the movement of the stage. You know, that in itself is an art form that, you know, once explored to the maximum can actually, you know, heal someone, because that's what music does. Perform as much as you can. Perform anywhere, everywhere, any chance you get, just perform. Because with that, then you build like your confidence, especially when you're starting out. I remember for us, like, we used to play every street corner, every open mic, every single night, every single day, as in Tulikuwa, every single where. And right now, I try, of course, to like perform whenever I can. But like when you're starting out, it's very important, very key for you to perform any chance you get, because, you know, and also be open to hearing what people think about what you're doing with your style or your craft, right? Be open to that and not taking anything personally, because people have opinions and that's what people do. They say what they feel, but you shouldn't take it to heart, because if you know what you're doing and you know this is what you're supposed to be doing, then you keep doing it. And you might not be good today, but it doesn't mean you won't be good tomorrow if you practice, that is. When you're performing, and just have that conviction of, you know, this is what I'm doing and this is what it means to me. And you know what, I'm gonna present it like this, right? And then also the other thing you probably might want to add is just leave room for magic, because it's good. Yes, of course, you've practiced, you've rehearsed, you've done your assignments, you've done your homework. Umefanya kila kitu yenye unafaa kufanya. So the only thing left there is that you just need to leave room for magic. That's it, you know, room for spontaneity and being able to, you know, just go with the flow and letting the magic happen on stage as you perform. Rehearsal, like that's actually where you get to actually connect with your music, connect with your song. Now, in as far as like live, the performance itself is concerned in rehearsal, then you also get to interpret it. So it's very, very, very key for you to rehearse, and it plays a big role, because I think if you are really prepared and you have actually really rehearsed, in case you get on stage and something goes wrong, it doesn't get you off guard, because you have actually prepared, you've done your due diligence, you've done the work. So nothing really can catch you off guard when you're on stage.
Anapenda tunafile minyona. Some days anapenda shifona. Na kwenye glasi ni mashadone. Don't need no man, she says she's okay. And she love living la vida loca. She's a go-getter kwa kimboka ni mboka. Ghetto girl sasa ameomoka. She don't need no man, she says she's okay. Oh, I hope you find what you're looking for. Pearls and diamonds and so much more. Everything you've been longing for. Now I need you, my lord. You're moving on and I cannot blame you. I got to say it was nice to know you. Go happy, Nico, happy for you.
If you ever feel like you have a calling, you don't have to explain it to anybody. Nobody else has to understand it. Because if they were supposed to understand it, it would have been a conference call. Wah, wah, wah. There we go.
Je veux danser mama. Yonga, 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 yonga mama. Take you downtown to disco. Chini kwa chini ki you know. You're my fire, my desire. Nakupenda.
It's always nice to see the journey, right? So you see someone from the start and then you see their vulnerabilities, you see their insecurities, but also you see the light. And it's just nice when they start shining brighter. And I always say that I feel like change is a personal thing. It's nothing to do with our instructors. It's when an individual decides to do that. But it's nice to feel like you've been along the journey. Anyone who sees the girls on stage, that's the success story. I don't want to single out any individual girl because I feel like everyone has walked their own path. Everyone has come to an ending. It's lovely seeing different things. So some people, I'm really into fitness. I think on-stage fitness is vital. It's breath work. It's how you move across the stage. It's stamina. It's all of these things. So when you're training someone at the start and to begin with, they can't do more than 5 minutes and then we're in our last session and they're doing 50 minutes comfortably, that's a success story. When you see someone who was maybe a little bit insecure in their body and then they're just moving so sexy, that's a success story. When you see someone who is really quirky and tries to kind of hold that because maybe the world won't understand it and you kind of motivate them, encourage them and say, no, that's your blessing, and then they start doing all of their stuff that's so unique to them, that's a success story. So I think the girls are the success story.
Performance week was crazy because I'm shy. I'm not a performer. Oh, I wasn't. Now I am. Now I have to be. So I'd never learned to like move a certain way. All the shows I did before I learned performance properly, I was just jumping around and singing. Yeah. And then after performance week, now I'm dancing as I sing.
I never want to be the coach that's gonna lie and say that was good when it wasn't. I never want to be the coach that's gonna be like too invested in the emotions, because I feel like it sometimes does people a disservice because the crowd doesn't care if you had a bad day, a bad morning. The crowd doesn't care if your outfit isn't how you want it to be. But at the same time, recognizing that these are human beings going for a journey, and it's my responsibility to make sure that they feel supported on the journey. So I like mentors that are able to balance tough with, heart. You have minimal control over how someone responds and reacts. All you can do is be there, be present, be available, and know your stuff. I think it takes then the pressure off you to influence how someone else responds, right? So then that kind of cools everything down. And then all you can do is keep kind of encouraging and motivating. So when it comes to challenges, I always kind of take it back to, but why are you here? But why do you want this? But what are we achieving? But where do you want to be? If there's a goal like Soulface, it's really easy to bring it back to the goal and be like, yo, we're performing in a week. We're performing in 3 days. It's up to you how you present yourself on that stage, fundamentally. I'm here. If you want the tools, I'm ready to give them to you. If you don't, imagine, it's your life. Tears, pain, and self-hatred. No, I'm joking. So normally we start with like some form of high energy exercise. So it's about freeing up the body, making sure that, first of all, everything is warmed up, muscles are stretched. But more than that, that you're psychologically ready, that your body is ready, that you're prepared to move. So normally I do that for a good 40, 45 minutes. Everyone hates me or loves me by the end of that, depending on where you are on the spectrum. What I try to do in those sessions also, especially for artists, is involve them. So if you play back the videos of me teaching, I always get guys to bring a move, bring a move, bring a move, bring a move, and then we'll all do the move. Because what that teaches you is when you're on stage and you forget your choreography, you can have something very, very fast to just come up with. So it's fast-paced, bring a move, bring a move, bring a move, and then some form of choreography. If it's an artist, a choreography to their song. And if we're preparing for something like a show, keep going over their set and then give real-time corrections. This needs to change, this could be better, you're supposed to be on the left, you're supposed to be on the right. The biggest challenge has got nothing to do with dance. The biggest challenge normally is fitness. So when artists are dancing for the first time, their biggest complaint is that, how am I gonna do this and breathe at the same time? It's gonna impact my breath work. It's gonna impact, how I'm able to deliver my vocals. What I always respond to that is, then you need to improve your fitness. So lung capacity, heart capacity. So it starts from that. And then a lot of artists invest a lot in their music and not a lot in their movement. So obviously their comfortable place is gonna be their music. Their least comfortable place is gonna be their movement. So I'll also say you just need to invest more time in your movement. So at least your comfort level is similar and your body will find a way of balancing itself out, because our bodies are amazing. They adapt to the situation. But yeah, if you've been singing for 10 years and then you just learn a dance routine, of course, that's going to impact your singing. It's going to impact your mind. So consistency, and fitness. Those are the two biggest things.
I wanna be rich, I wanna be famous, I wanna have lots and lots of money.
About to kill this, we're about to kill this.
Actually, I'm feeling nice. The crowd was cheering and I was like, oh God, I'm a star.
I was kind of hemming, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of nervous because the crowd was really big. It's like an ocean of people. You can't see where they end. So my strategy was to like pretend they're not there, but you can hear them, especially the people in the front. Every single thing, you can hear the, hey, wait. So I was like, these are human beings and they're all here. I was kind of nervous, but I had fun. Nairobi,